right, welcome back, folks, to Talking Clicks Part 2. This is actually the Talking Clicks part.
Our
Wait for Scott.
reminiscence of the last 100 videos.
Hey!
Yay!
So this is officially episode 101 for Scott. It's
Wow.
one plus like 20 for me.
Yeah, it's around 118 for you, I think.
So that was an entertaining game for you guys. I'm glad that we brought Shay in here to give you some challenge other than myself. And got tired of beating me up.
Come on now, the record's not that bad.
So Shay, it has been not quite a year since the last time you were on the show. The last time you were on was July 11th.
Oh wow. Yeah, I remember that. That's a fun show. I do.
Have you followed the
The-
show since then?
Yeah, I've been trying as much as I can. So I've been pretty busy, as you know, with just everything going on between teaching and going back to school. It's just been a pretty rough year. And then as I told you too, my cat got to the ICU, so it's been a terrible last 2 weeks. But we're coming out of it. He's doing well. But yeah,
You look like you're at a rave also with the lights.
Oh yeah. So I need hold on. Okay, so what you can't see is that the light is actually coming from my 3D printer. So and then the TV's on. So let me just pop here very quickly. There you go. Okay.
I'm too, as long as we get some music in the background.
That's it. Yeah, you don't want to see me. You don't want to see me dancing. But yeah, I've been trying to follow you. I loved your your Knights of the Round Table. Is that the one? The episode, the last one that. Yeah, so where y'all were talking about the changes and all that, I thought that was a great episode. I thought, and it's really good. But yeah, so anyway, no, I've been following. I think y'all doing a great job. It's been a lot of fun watching y'all.
Do you have any highlights that you have picked up on over the course of the show that you're especially fond of?
Highlights. Really, I'm gonna tell you the shows I find the most entertaining is when you just I get really while I like the Knights of the Round Table, I really like it when y'all just pull in some random players in. I think those are just so fun because it just shows me more of the community.
Mm-hmm.
I found podcasts recycle the same guests. So like the same guys on 4 straight podcasts. How much different can they talk? And you're showing these locals off and guys who are doing good, cool runs at different things. So I found all those really fun just to watch.
Yeah, we talked about it a few times. That's been one of the cornerstones of the show is to not be like the rest of them, to just be a little different, to focus more on the players and not the game itself, and to really give the underexposed players a chance to really shine. The ones that don't necessarily win every tournament and get all of the recognition, but still show up to their venues every Wednesday and roll dice with their friends. You don't have to be the best player to be in the spotlight. So,
hey, so I'm gonna just say something very quickly, which I find that very commendable because I know when I started my podcast, what grew my ratings was getting popular people on. Like I got Edward Shelton to come on once.
Mm-hmm.
I got interviewed Howard Brock. But to sit there and commit yourself to showing off the lesser knowns and grow your audience that way is, I think, a hard thing to do, but it's very worthwhile, and it
we
really
sprinkle them in every once in a while just to mix it up.
Oh yeah, and I go ahead.
I love talking to people, so I mean, again, I've said it before on the show, and I'll say it until the show ends. That my idea for the show was to bring in a player from every venue, at least one, and that way we can get those people on the show. Everyone has a seat at the table, even if you don't play at a venue and you play at a home table and you want to be on the show. Reach out to Wes, myself, Talkn Clix, RWC, somewhere. Find us. We'll put you on the show. We'll put you on the schedule.
I know that show guests are kind of like children. You're not supposed to have a favorite. You're supposed to love them all just in different ways. But I do guys say, Shay, you have been one of my top 10 favorite guests of the show. I really enjoyed our conversation. I loved your show when we were going to know the Borderlands because I love the way your brain works and the way you tell the audience why you're picking the pieces you're picking when you're building a team.
Yeah, I will be honest. I miss doing a podcast. Really, I was thinking about this week. Record my 52nd episode. That's why I'm so impressed y'all did 100 and y'all have just kept it up. That's
It's a sweatshop.
It has
It
been
is.
2 a week for almost a year.
It gets kind of grueling sometimes.
It's a grind. I mean, people don't realize it, but it's such a grind when you do post. And it's not because you don't love it. It's just every day making sure it's ready to go, no
Life
matter what's going on in your.
happens.
Yeah, I mean, and then once you get out of the routine, then it really struggles. But no, I mean, I really love your format. And I meant to tell you this too. I really loved the other day, Wes, when y'all were sitting around talking, and Antonio was on, and he was talking about the controversy, and he didn't want to talk about the names. You're like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to live in rumors. Well, we're just going to name people. We're just going to lay it straight out. I just want all the facts. Let's not try to sugarcoat anything.
Yep.
I mean, I love that. And that's taking a stand. But y'all are doing a great
I
job.
think that one of the worst things to do in a community is to hide behind shadows. And if you screw up, you screw up. And if you say something bad and you apologize, own up to it. But I didn't think that masquerading around, pretending something didn't happen that happened, and people were already talking about it. Just putting it out there, being honest, it's just the way to go. That's my opinion, anyway.
Hey, Scott, can I ask you a question very
Ask
quickly?
away.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, what has been your favorite evolution of the show in these 100 episodes?
Oh man, I'm glad that you asked this question. It was kind of a question that I had proposed to Wes before the show. Like, what have we learned in the process? And when I would listen to Ed Shelton on Starting Over podcast, he's like, I won't listen to the first 25 episodes of a show because they're learning how to walk. And it's so much stumbling over yourself, stumbling over the scheduling, stumbling over each other. And I feel like it took us a while to actually feel like we had a good flow.
How many TV shows have you watched where somebody's like, okay, you just got to make it past the first 3 episodes? That's where it's in and out. It gets really good after the first 3 episodes.
WandaVision?
Oh, yeah, WandaVision, yes.
Star Trek. The Next Generation, the first half season is garbage, but it really picks up after that.
So no, I feel like I put most of the burden on Wes. I would say that he's doing the post-production stuff on all of this stuff, and he's posting it all. So, Wes, excellent work for the last 100 plus episodes for doing all the heavy lifting. It feels like.
Hey, let me go and
dealing with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, Wes. The opening for when I guest starred on you, when you did the Chuck, I was blown away. I mean, even your current opening, that blows me away to be able to do that. And I'm a STEM teacher, and I do a lot of audiovisual stuff. And for you to sit down and do that, that's pretty impressive. I've just got to say. And I was going to mention, Sky, is so funny that you said about Edward Shelton the first 25 episodes. I remember listening to his program, and he gave my program a shout out. Like I was in episode 12 and he goes, hey, I'm watching this guy, Shay McClure, Heroclix Borderlands. He may have something there. He goes, a lot of it's not good. I fast forward through it, but he's got something there. He'll figure it out. He said, I'm keeping an eye on him. And that really propelled me up past that 25. That really helped me go. But I thought that was cool.
We'll talk more about the outros and stuff here in a minute, but I want to take a moment to shout out our Patreon members. Because what I do and what our show does as far as quality of show is not in any small part due to our Patreon members who allow us to pay for services instead of just using the free generic versions of different programs. The songs in particular, I use the Patreon membership for that. And if I didn't have that, I would get the first nasty version of a song that the AI pops out, and that would be what it was. But this way I can, tweak it and run it back and do different versions and feel what's the best version to make it the best quality. And the visual effects and everything, it all costs money. And the Patreon members who support us, I'm very grateful for helping us to make the show a better quality of show than what it would be if we were just talking.
Thank you guys. We are not worthy.
No.
Keep paying.
Keep supporting.
Keep supporting the show. Like and subscribe. Smash the bell. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm not very good at that. I don't ever tell people, "Hey, make sure you subscribe." I do it like when I post it and I comment below, "Hey, make sure you subscribe." But I don't really push it in the show. I need to be better about that. Speaking of shameless plugs, my beautiful wife, April Robertson, did a plug of Red, White, and Clix on our TikTok last night.
On her TikTok.
On her TikTok. And she pushed it out there for on a panel of like, I don't know, a dozen people or so. And we spent an hour and a half talking about Red, White, and Clix, what it's about. We talked about mental health awareness and the struggles that veterans go through and all this stuff. But we made this poster board, and all these signatures are people that made donations.
Cool.
Red, White, and Clix. And a lot of them are in memory of somebody else, a loved one that served, like Bama from the 101st Airborne, the Army man, Joseph Sparky Harrod from the 82nd Airborne. All these people are people that gave money or are in honor of somebody that gave money to Red, White, and Clix. So I want to shout that out. I'm going to take this with me to the car show this weekend to talk more about Red, White, and Clix there. I'm going to be there in the sun for, I don't know, 12 hours talking to people. They're there to look at cars. I'm going to be like, "Hey, come talk to me about Heroclix."
There you go.
But I also want to shout out a couple of our sponsors for Red, White, and Clix. We have almost 40 of them. And there's no way I can force people to listen to me rattle off 40 names. So I want to shout out a couple of every episode on Talkn Clix about Red, White, and Clix promoters. So the very first one was actually my bug guy, my bug control guy.
Control.
Smith Integrated Pest Control. I've been working with them for 3 years. They do a great job. Every time I've had the smallest pest in the house, I call them up. They're there the next day. Like, they're there. This guy's runs a tight ship. I almost blame them for when I took a break because I didn't have the funds for about half a year, and they came and picked up their mouse traps. That week, I had mice in the wall. Like, did they put the mice there when they picked up the traps?
Yes, they switch it out.
Yep.
It's mice trap versus mice food.
Aggressive marketing. But yeah, they made a huge donation of $500 to Red, White, and Clix. So I want to shout them out, as well as Culver's Steak Burgers. They have donated food the last 2 years, and this year I reached out to the store manager and said, "Hey, we love your food. Can you do some money this year?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll write you a check for $500." So I just want to shout those two out. Those are the two first ones that signed up. They didn't even hesitate about it. So I wanted to give them a good shout out. All right, back to the show. So, Scott, is there a longer name for Scott, or is that just Scott?
Scott is my middle name. That's my slave name.
What is a story of growing pains from the original start to?
Now, that's a Wes question.
My question. Okay.
Yeah, that's a question for
Wes.
Wes.
Growing pains since you started.
I mean, learning each other out, filling each other out. It's like I'm excited to do the show with you, and then we just get in here and stumble across each other and speak over each other. So I feel like learning the timing without actually being like, "All right, you go. All right, you go." There's no hand signals that we have.
I will. I can get away with saying this because April doesn't listen to the show, but I'll never forget this camping trip I went on with my girlfriend at the time, and we went canoeing, and it was pretty much the end of our relationship because we could not row in sync with each other. So I'm trying to row this way, she's rolling that way. I roll a different speed, and we're just kind of going in circles, and words were said, but doing a partnership of any kind and having that synchronization is not always easy. Anybody's ever been in a successful relationship knows that. Even the most loved relationships are going to have ups and downs and trials and figuring each other out. I was just saying to my wife, we're going to be married 10 years in like 2 weeks. And
wow.
like, man, it's been 10 years. I still feel like I'm learning you. Like I still don't feel like I know you as much as I would think I would after 10 years. She's like, yeah, people change and they, develop and taste change and personalities change. And yeah, you're going to have that. But yeah, having a co-host on a show was a deliberate action on my part. But yeah, it was, there's been stumbling blocks in our co-hosting relationship, but it's been good. I think we've both grown as podcasters and as individuals.
Definitely as individuals. I know that you and I off camera have had a couple of spats before, and we work it out because we are grown people and can
Because we are
communicate.
adults.
And adulting is a part of life.
Working with people that you disagree with is an important skill to have.
Yes, sir.
So, Wes, do you have a specific time frame when you thought the show was actually getting smooth after we got through our stumbling and bumbling?
I want to say, like, my time frames are a mess. So, but I want to say it was around
Before
the time.
Red, White, and Clix?
Huh?
Before Red, White, and Clix?
Yeah, for sure. I want to say it was when we had Mork on. It was around that time, and I really felt we hit our rhythm.
That was a month into the show.
Was it?
With me.
Wow.
It was like episode 9, I think. I got them all listed out whenever people were on the show.
Because
Mork was the first week of June.
Remember, because after every episode we would talk about it and be like, "Hey, we kind of messed up here. I'm sorry about stepping on your words there." And there was a certain episode where I'm like, "Hey, that really felt good." You're like, "Yeah, I think we're getting there." And that's when I started really feeling we were getting the momentum going.
I felt like it was towards the end of June, early July.
Yeah, probably that.
So,
give me a second to pull up the episode lists.
Yeah, while you're doing that, let me just ask a question. So you were doing the podcast for about 18 episodes before Scott joined?
Yeah, something like that.
So how did you two hook up to become this dynamic duo?
Literally just by chance. I had thought about it for a long time that I wanted a co-host because all the shows that I listen to and watch, the best ones are always an interaction between two people and then a guest or whatever. Just one guy talking to one guy always felt dry and boring. I wanted that interaction. And so I put it out on Facebook. Hey, anybody want to be on the show as a co-host? Let's talk about it. Scott was the first one to say he wanted to sign up. And I said, all right, let's get a couple more people, do an audition, try it out. And did a couple weeks of tryouts. And when I was editing the videos, I was sitting right next to my wife on the couch, and she heard Scott's audition, and she's like, "You're picking him, right? He's the one you're picking, right?" Like, yeah, probably,
that's awesome.
him. But yeah, even she doesn't even listen to the show. She just overheard what was going on, and she's like, "Yep, that's the one that sounds the best." So,
thanks, April.
You got the April stamp of approval.
Thanks, April. So in late June, we had Anthony Robinette out of New Mexico, I believe, and Miguel Silva out of New Jersey, New York, and that was late June. And that's about when I felt like we were starting to hit the stride.
Yeah, that feels about right.
Hey, let me ask one thing right quick, and I know y'all have this list of questions, so you can just tell me, shut up, Shay, or just hit me on mute. But Wes, what's the one strength that Scott brings to the show that you're really appreciative of? And Scott, it's going to be the same question to you about Wes, because I always like to hear what the other perception is.
Well, this is a double-edged sword, because there's two things specifically that I always, when I think about Scott, I think about these two things. One is his organization off camera. He primarily does the scheduling of guests, and more often than not, actually, we have a guest battle out at the last minute, and he has to stumble and find somebody. And no matter how hard he tries to schedule things like 2 months ahead of time, things fall apart on Sunday at 5, and we are recording at 9. And he's like, "Okay, I got this." I'm like, "Scott, if we need to take a night off, we can take a night off. It's fine." He's like, No, I got this. And he finds somebody, and we start recording at 9:00. And it's really impressive how he does that. I would just be pulling my hair out and like, "God damn it, why did everybody cancel on us?" The other thing is, as frustrating as it is, sometimes the friction of the show, um, not in a bad way though. Like we joke all the time about we don't agree on things a lot of times, but I think that adds a level of entertainment value to the show that if we just agree on everything, I might as well just be doing the show by myself. Like, what are we going to talk about if we just agree on everything? So
And the echo chamber doesn't work.
Yeah, I like the fact that we don't agree on things and we can talk about it and we can express our ideas in a positive way, adult way, and that we don't have to get all angry and shouting and call each other names, so that we just enjoy the conversation. I think it makes for a good, entertaining show.
All right. Wes impresses me with his producing skills, first and foremost. Like some days I feel like we get done recording at like 10:30 Wes's time, between 10:30 and 11 after we hang out a little bit. And the next morning, the show is up. I'm like, does he sleep? Maybe he works
Exactly.
for Clix and he's over there in the
I don't put
sweatshop.
it up for like 2 days. It depends on what's
Sometimes, but there's a lot of times. And then the outro videos is, I mean, it's something else that's on the questionnaire. The outro videos are one of the best things to me in the show because it is like, this is a token of our appreciation. Wes does it all. It's a token of Wes's appreciation for you as a player to give us that hour and a half of time to interview you, plus or minus. And then he puts everything together. I don't know how he does it, but he makes a video that is usually out of the park.
Sometimes.
Oh. No, I agree with you. On mine, you took something I liked and put me in it, and I just thought it was awesome. I mean, that's just amazing.
Shay, what is a compliment that you've remembered all these years later? What's somebody said nice about you that really hit a spot?
A compliment. It's I'm gonna tell you, it's when the best compliment, and it's happened several times, but anytime a player comes up to you and say, "Hey, I listened to your show and I really appreciate it," that right there, just seeing who because they're usually just numbers. You know what I mean? You just see the numbers. So the biggest compliment I ever got when it came to something like that was, hey, it'd have to be. I'll be honest, Wes, it's come from you and Scott when y'all talked about my show, about how much y'all liked it. It's the biggest
I
compliment.
was hyper excited when I seen your show pop out again. I'm like, yes, but I gotta contact him because he used to interview people.
Oh yes.
And we don't
Not
want to step on people's toes.
huh? What
We
was
don't
that?
want to step on people's toes, and we want to have our shows unique from each other. So
It's a great show.
for coming
I
on
really
the show with
enjoyed
us and doing that.
Yeah. It was. I'm gonna go tell you that was a huge compliment, and I really like it. You think you reach people, but you never know until they come and talk to you about it. And and that's one thing. What I will say is that take away the competitive aspect, take away the meta play. It's why I like going to Origins. It's why I like going to some of those big events where you can just meet people. You just meet all kinds of crazy people. And now, when you get wrapped up in the competition, that's when not that I'm not a competitive person, but when you get too wrapped up in it, you don't get to meet people. I mean, heck, I remember meeting PJ Bolin, and he was struggling with the team. He just couldn't get it to work. And me and him played each other, and I beat him, but he was very nice and he helped me out. That's the Heroclix community right there, and that's where you get to go meet them. You don't know how big this community is until you go to those events like that.
Yep, for sure.
And y'all bring that. That's what I love about your show. You bring that. You show us how big that community is. It's not these small group of people. It's this big group of people.
It wasn't that long ago. I said to Scott, "Man, maybe we should slow it down. I think we're gonna run out of gas." He's like, "Are you kidding me? No, we're not."
Look, if I just go off of the ELO rankings for this year, there's over 1,000 people on it, and we'll get to the numbers here shortly. Just want to say, and there's more people than's on the ELO. That's all I can tell you.
All right, so Scott, we talked about the outros. What has been your favorite of the outros?
No, your favorite outro?
No, I want to know what your favorite has been.
My favorite outro, the one you did for Joe Clark in memorial of Dean Hubbard. That one was special to me because I knew what had happened before we had Joe on the show. So thank you for that. I knew Dean personally. I'm not going to say that we were the best of friends and I talked to him every week, but I knew him by going to the events that we had in the South, that I would be like, hey, there's Joe, there's Dean. So that one was very tough.
It's been my favorite as well. I didn't even know Dean, but the fact that he touched that many people in the community, that everybody put the Superman symbol up on their Facebook page for a week or whatever it was, and I heard about his name like 1,000 times, that I felt like I knew him almost. Like it was really powerful. And then when I did the episode and I did the outro, I had kind of a picture in my mind. But then when I put it together and then I watched it back, I'm the one that created it. I teared up. Like it was really powerful. It really moved me that how much this man meant to the community as a whole. And so I put a lot of effort into that outro, and I thought it came together very well.
So any of the other outros where you put a dig on me somewhere in there, I love that too. Hey, I don't know how you do it, but it may be the AI making the dig on me. I don't know if you'd be like, here, make me a video off of this show.
No. I take notes as much as I can. If something funny happens, whether it's a guest or you, I write it down and then I circle it. And when I am putting it into the computer, I'm like, make sure you talk about this.
Like Angel Carpio, and I need the recipe for the Chipotle chicken.
I miss the Cards Against Humanity cards that you used to do.
Okay. Those got me in trouble.
Yes, they got you in trouble, but they were funny.
They were funny, but that got me in trouble. I still have them here. The ones that I read. They're in my desk here somewhere. Yeah, right here. Yeah. I don't want to repeat that last one that got me in trouble.
Hey, Shay, where are you from again?
I'm from... So if you're a NASCAR fan, I am 6 miles from Bristol Motor Speedway. So I'm right at the tip. Oh, yes. So I'm at if you know where the way Tennessee looks, I'm at the far right tip, right there where Virginia, North Carolina, all that meets together. Kentucky, I'm all right there.
All right, so I need you to settle a debate. We have a piece of toast. You're putting butter on it to eat it. Put it on top, and you go eat it. Are you eating it with the butter side on top, or are you flipping it over with the butter side down?
That's butter side up, man.
What's wrong with you?
Now, let me rephrase that by saying, while I'll do that, if you've ever watched me eat a hamburger, I flip it upside down to eat.
So what's wrong with putting the butter side down?
Because it's going to drip.
No, it's not runny butter. It's not. You're not putting.
Wait. Whoa. There's where we have a problem.
Okay.
The butter's got to melt.
Let's put margarine. Okay, still, but you're not having gobs of just oil on your toast, are you?
Yes.
You see where a bib when you eat it.
Let me go ahead and tell you, I used to make it like when I was growing up. We didn't have a toaster, so we'd put it on a pan, put it in the oven, put the butter on top, and it'd come out and have that nice yellow, center and all that, and browned around the outside. Man, those were the days. So I can't. I just grew up. I'm not going to flip it. Sorry, man.
The only people that I've talked to that eat butter down are from Texas. There's something in the water down there that makes those people weird.
No, it's normal. It tastes. You get the butter flavor on your tongue instead of bread.
Okay.
All right, Wes, do you have a favorite question that we've had on our questionnaires from the beginning to now?
Spent a lot of time on this one, like a lot of time, because there was hardly any that really stood out. And the thing that I kept coming back to is actually not on the questionnaire, but we ask every guest, is nicknames. I love hearing people's nicknames and the silly stories that go with them. And we ask them at the beginning of every show. But actual questionnaire questions, it's what number am I thinking of? That when I thought about the questionnaire, that's the question that comes to my mind most often. Because we had so much fun playing with the guests with that, and they would take it so seriously. They're like, okay, wait, what are the rules? All right, let me think about this. Like, it's just so much fun. I don't know. That was mine.
I like the Golden Girls question, but it's dated because a lot of people don't know who the Golden Girls are when we get to the younger group. I mean, I feel like that just tells you what kind of person they are. And I do like the butter bread question, but nobody answers it right.
Oh, okay. Sure.
All right. So the answer to the next question, I'm actually going to divert to Shay. Name a celebrity on your spank bank.
Oh, wow. That is a out of left field question.
Yeah.
So we're going to, yeah. So it's going to be down between two. Let's go either Rose off the Titanic or the girl out of American Pie. Shannon Elizabeth.
Oh yeah. I read somewhere that she just got an OnlyFans page. You go sign up for it.
Oh yeah.
He's the filmer / editor. What are you talking about?
So the actual question that Scott had prepared was, what is your least favorite question? And that one was tied with another question of doing the haiku. I've not enjoyed that as much.
I enjoy creating haikus, but no one wants to create them. And I think we've done 3 haikus in the last 3 months almost. And maybe it's 4 haikus. And I enjoy doing the haikus with the people. And I don't know how people are taking it. I mean, Wes has said it's either a tie or I've won every time. And I don't know if it's biased or what, but I enjoy that 2 minutes on the spot. You have to come up with 17 syllables.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, let me ask you, would y'all ever do what's a format that y'all would never do with your podcast? So like an unboxing, what's a format that y'all's like, this is not for us?
I mean, we would do an unboxing, but I don't know how you would do an unboxing from Lafayette, Indiana. And
that was a big problem when I brought Scott on the show. I was like, man, but there's things I want to do in person that we can't do. So we'll just have to figure it out.
So if Wizkids would be willing, I feel like the G.I. Joe unboxing and the Cobra unboxing would be perfect for this setup because he's there. I'm here. Be like, boom, here's a G.I. Joe. Boom, here's a Cobra. And I don't care which is which. I would just love to do an unboxing with Wes like that.
Oh, I think y'all would have a lot of fun. And I love the new licensing that Wizkids are doing. So
hear me out here. They sent us each a brick. And we do simultaneous unboxings. And we see who got a better pull.
I mean, how do you judge on what's a better pull?
Same way you can do anything, just judgment call.
The cost of the piece? Well, like what? Like you might be a better player with Rogue Prime than I am because I hate the piece.
Hey, I would suggest this. This is what me and my buddy do. My buddy Mark. If you've watched the show a long time, I always talk about him every so often. But usually what we'll do is I'd have to pull up the spreadsheet. Every case I have unboxed, every brick, I have put in what I've gotten out of each booster. And so what we'll do is he'll come up and we'll roll dice and I'll give him those boosters and I'll get boosters and we'll play a sealed event and we'll just until we get the whole case done. And it's just a fun way to learn out all kinds of figures. You get to play them and you just sit down with your buddy and you play and you build teams and you go have fun, and you learn about them. So y'all should try that. I think that would be awesome. A sealed match.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. I don't mind playing sealed at all. All right, Wes. Do you have an outro that you...
Wait. What's your least favorite of the questionnaires?
The I don't know. Did we do the 100 people versus a gorilla for a while?
Yeah, we did that for a minute.
I didn't like that question. I feel like everybody knows the gorilla can beat 100 people.
Well, 100 Heroclix players anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't like that question. I don't know why.
All right, go on.
Oh, another one I'm not very fond of is the sneeze, glitter, cough, confetti. They're both a mess. They're both painful. Why would you want that coming out of your body?
I still say that glitter is harder to clean up. So
it is harder to clean up. And sometimes I bite my tongue when I sneeze. It's brutal because it's like way back here in the back of my tongue. I'm like, what? How does it get between my teeth when I'm sneezing?
All right, so that's a good question for Shay. Would you rather, where is it? Sneeze glitter or cough confetti?
Oh man, they burn either way. I probably sneeze glitter. I would think so. Coughing. You might get yeah. Now sneeze glitter. Sneeze glitter. I think I'd go with that. I think the coughing would be more painful.
So
All right,
with
Wes, I
that
want to
question,
backtrack.
what's that?
I want to backtrack a little bit. What was your least favorite outro to create? I know you've had troubles with some of them.
Oh,
Not necessarily the person. It's just the video or the editing of the faces on the. Has there been one that you did not? Is just like, oh my god, I'm so tired of messing with this one.
It's actually one that never got aired. It was when I interviewed Ryan Redman, and I did this whole elaborate Deadpool Colossus thing, and when he punches up and hits Colossus groin area, and he goes, "Oh, poor wife," and I popped up a picture of Ryan's wife up there, and it was this whole thing. I put hours of work into it, and when I tried to upload it, it got flagged for having too much Disney content in it, and they wouldn't let me post it. So I had to go back to square one and redo it again. I wasn't nearly as happy with what I put out there, but the one that I was most frustrated with was that one because it never got aired.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
What was I going to ask? Right, rank and order favorites of the shows that we do. Talking Clix, Roundtable, Playing Clix. They're each unique, but what's your order of preference?
Talking Clix first and foremost. That's the one that we started with the show. I feel like, again, reaching out to all the various people in communities, tabletop / even if it's just content creators or hosts of the events, they don't even have to play the game. Retired players, I feel like we have a seat for everybody at the table. So Talking Clix is the number one for me. Man, Roundtable is fun too, but some of those go way, way long. Way, way long. I feel like, okay, we're turning into DJ and Clicks here. It's a 17-hour episode. But I don't know. I'm enjoying the Playing Clicks too, because then it's letting me highlight some of the games that I have for the casual corner that I've created, which there's more ideas in the works. I would have to say Playing Clicks would probably be second. No offense to Anthony and Jay, but I would say Roundtable would probably be my third on the list of the 3 different types of shows. Now, for audio version, if you're just listening on the podcast and you're not watching the videos, then let's flip that. I would like to have Roundtable ahead of Playing Clicks because you can't see it.
So
hey, do you think? Sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Go
Wes.
ahead.
No, I was just thinking. Also, do you think for you, Scott? Do you think the round table goes to the bottom because it's more focused on one aspect of the game, and the other ones
No.
are just more open?
I feel like the Roundtable, we go off like, hey, we're gonna do this, and then we get on food, and it's like, woo.
Well,
Or,
that's
hey,
true
we're gonna
too.
talk about
Y'all
this,
are
and we get on roller skates, woo. It's like we go way off of base sometimes, and we got to rein it back in and try and focus on what we're gonna do. I can't tell you how many times we've actually planned out what we're gonna do. We don't have an itinerary. On Roundtable, we set an itinerary, and then it's like, hey, we're starting the show. What itinerary?
So my favorite, just because it's my most favorite to do, not necessarily listen to, but my favorite to do is the Nerds of the Round Table. Just because Ryan has said this on his Degeneration Clicks so many times about how they do 5, 10, 12-hour episodes because it's just 4 guys that are friends hanging out and talking, and they just happen to be recording it. And that's what I feel like the Nerds Around Table is. Like, each of the people on the show are my friends, and I enjoy talking to them individually. I enjoy talking to them immensely more as a group. I don't know why we don't talk more outside of the show as a group, but yeah, it's just so much fun, and we get off these rabbit trails of craziness and wacky ideas. And unfortunately, none of us are short on words. Well, maybe Jay is. He's probably the quietest one. Antonio is hard to rein in sometimes, and I get on my tangents, and Scott injects his thoughts, and Jay's kind of over there just throwing in little quips here and there. But it's so much fun to do. Yeah. And then Talking Clicks is my second because that's the bread and butter. And then Playing Clicks only comes up the last just out of process elimination. I absolutely love Playing Clicks. I love the unique ideas that Scott comes up with for games. I think they are so much fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, picking the order of these is not easy, but it's like choosing the favorite of your children. Like they're all kind of our children together, but it's like if I have to pick an order, here it is.
I'd like to ask Scott, what is a format you would like? Like, do you have a format you'd love to see become like the pulp format? You know what I'm talking about? That becomes. Do you have a?
Man, it I do have a format that I would like to see played at an event, but competitive players will not agree with me. I would love to have another man's treasure, where you build a crummy, terrible team. Now there are restrictions. You have to have people that actually deal damage and have attack values. You can't have 20 destinies on your team with 0 attack, 0 damage. So it would have to be some kind of a Highlander where minimum damage is 1. You would build a team and then you give that team to your opponent and you play a game.
Nice. And I'd like to know, Wes, what figure or bystander would you make?
Is it got to be a Heroclix? Can it be a Wespool or Wes as a Heroclix?
I mean, they've expanded the license. I would just say as long as it's a licensable product. I mean, if you got the opportunity, if they said, "Hey, Wes, here, all your work on Red, White, and Clicks, we're going to let you make a bystander. We're going to let you design a figure." What figure do you see out of the annals of all this that you'd like to bring into Heroclix?
So the obvious answer is a Deadpool because the designers at Wizkids cannot make a good Deadpool. They absolutely love making Deadpool, but not good. But actually, the thing I know it's already been done, so it's kind of a cop out a little bit. But Stan Lee, I want to see a good Stan Lee.
Oh, nice.
Not uber broken, just something that would sit in the background, kind of like Copycat, and just do support powers from the background and making the superheroes better. Maybe something that pops out superheroes. I don't know. I haven't really probably thought into it, but
did you ever play Marvel Legos?
No.
There's a Stan Lee that you had to go through the game to unlock after you got like all the stuff undone with the bricks or whatever, and you get a Stan Lee, and he had the ability to have like Hulk strength, Spider-Man, like he had all the stuff that he could do in this game. I'm like, I would love a Stan Lee like that Lego guy.
The best movie idea I've ever heard of never happened, but you know, Stan Lee always had those cameos in every Marvel movie. They were going to do a Stan Lee movie, but with cameos from the Marvel figure characters throughout the movie. I always thought that was a great idea. It never happened.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love hearing what y'all would bring to the scene. That's cool.
So since your head kind of looks like a crystal ball, we're going to shake it and look into the future, and you're going to tell us what the end times apocalypse is. Is it zombies? Is it robots? Is it aliens? Is it alien robots? Is it the New York mice have just mutated and taken over the world? What's going to take over the Earth or in the Earth?
Oh wow. Okay, so what will it take? It's got to be robots. It's got to be AI. And I support AI. I really do. I really like it. But I mean, I just think technology is going to keep getting bigger and bigger, and we're going to obsolete ourselves if we're not careful. What's your all's thoughts?
100% AI.
People. It's going to be people.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Wall-E movie says it all. You know, we're just going to pile up the earth with garbage till a point we can't live on it anymore.
That's where we're gonna go to Mars, right?
Yep.
We're just gonna go mine.
Sure.
Go mine another planet.
Scott? What's something you've learned along the way during the show?
Look, when I first got on the show, and I knew that summer that I was going to have the opportunity to go to Worlds, and then I got on the show, and I'm like, I really want to switch my Worlds to Red, White, and Clix. And Wes is a lot taller than I thought he was. I mean, I learned that real easy just by standing next to you. So can I count that as learning on the show?
Absolutely. Mine was definitely that people rarely measure up to their reputation. Any guests I've had on the show that I felt like I've heard stories about or have some kind of persona that people talk about before I meet them in person, they rarely measure up to that. Usually people are not the nasty jerks that people make them out to be because they had one bad interaction. Sometimes they're not as bubbly and friendly as people make them out to be. But everybody's just people, and they're fun to talk to. And we're all human. We're all players on the board playing a game, and it really enlightened for me that reputations precede people sometimes, and are not always accurate.
Very true, sir. Very true. We're all just people.
Is there any behind the scenes things you want to share, Scott?
Oh man. No, I mean, I don't behind the scenes. This will touch base on basically the next question. I don't want to steal the next question. So behind the scenes, I mean, we have a little chats beforehand. We have a little chats after the show. You and I will chat during the week here and there. Sometimes it's great stuff. Sometimes it's political stuff. Sometimes it's, I don't know if we've ever delved into religion really bad. Sometimes it's just movies or the X-Men 97 season 2. Oh my God, is that Deadpool? But yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. I mean, behind the scenes, I feel like we're the same people we are on the screen. We don't have to hype it up. We don't have to change who we are on the show just to be on the show. I feel like we're the same people behind the screen.
I amp up my personality a little bit, try to be less dry and boring than I am in person, but yeah, I think I know where you're going with the next question. Yeah, we never have had a planned list of questions or agenda for the Talkn Clix episodes. We try to for the round table, but Scott and I, I think we've tossed out some ideas here and there, and
yeah. Okay, so used to be a podcast here locally that would actually have a Heroclix highlight in it. It was Nerds of the Thug Table. It was something about thug nerds, whatever. They played Heroclix, and I would go on their show, and I would type questions in there. I would basically be badgering them. I'm not going to say I was as bad as Cyclops Shroot is on Generation Clix, but I would go in there and heckle them. And where am I going with this? Oh, they had an itinerary because they had sponsors or whatever from local comic shops or whatever, and they would have like, here's a 15-minute block, and then they would play a little commercial, and then here's a 15-minute block, and they had to fit everything they wanted in that little 15-minute block to get to their little intro commercial, whatever, and then another 15-minute block. We do not have that. We have a guideline where we want to try and keep it to, and we get about 15 minutes before the end of the show, and we're like, questionnaire time.
Yep.
That's it.
Early on, I used to try to mimic Hot Ones on YouTube, where the host really did his homework on the guest and pull out some obscure fact about the guest and make them go, "How did you find that information? Have you been stalking me?" But I found that in my homework that rarely is Facebook accurate. And I asked the person, "Hey, what's it like graduating from blah, blah, blah high school?" And they're like, "Yeah, I just put that on Facebook just to put in an answer. I don't really know." Or I haven't been at that job for 12 years. I just never updated my Facebook. So I just kind of gave up on that because it was too hard and to find accurate information.
So, Wes, I'm going to ask you a question. Before I got on the show, what did you do for guest setup?
What did I do? Yes, set up.
Yeah, your guests. I know you would put out feelers and be like, "Hey, who wants to be on the show?" How long did it take you to get from, "Yeah, I'll be on the show," to actually putting a show together?
Usually it's mostly nobody would ever respond to my posts. I would just message somebody directly. Antonio was my first one. I was like, "Hey, Antonio, I'm doing this thing. Would you do a buddy a solid and give me some time?" He's like, "Absolutely." And then with Redmond, he and I were really good friends at the time, and I was like, "Hey, Ryan, I love your show, man. Can you do me a solid and come on my show for a minute?" And it was just like that until I got the ground running a little bit. Just really just hitting up friends, people that I had run into at events, and said, "Hey, man, I'm trying to put this thing together. I don't know what I'm doing. Do you want to be a guest on my show?" And they said, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, how long from whenever you ask them to actually being on the show?
Oh, 3 days.
3 days.
Wow.
Nice turnaround. Sometimes it's like 3 hours or 30 minutes for me. But generally, since I got on the show, I told Wes I would take over the scheduling of the guests. I'm generally trying to reach out a month in advance and be like, "Hey, feelers, do you want to come on the show? I have openings for this month. We record on Wednesdays and Sundays at this time. It's usually a 90-minute episode. We chat a little before, we can hang out a little bit after. 90 minutes, all we need of your time. If you need to move it to a Saturday or a Thursday, we are generally flexible depending upon schedules. And more times than not, I'll get, "Yes, we'll be on the show," or "Yes, I'll be on the show." And then the week of or the day of, "Hey, man, I got something come up." So
That's
it's
where
constant.
Shay is smarter than we are by doing the show solo. He doesn't have to worry about all that stuff. He just makes his own schedule, and he doesn't have to do the pre-show ramble and the timelines. Like he just does what he wants. And it show's ending.
Oh, I don't know. I first started out doing interviews. My show transitioned to interviews, and I know what you're going through there. It's always like, who am I going to get on and all that. And when I went solo, yeah, it's easier, but it's harder too because without the feedback, you're just talking to dead air. That is very hard. I hats off to Edward Shelton. Hour and a half episode, man, could just put it together. I love listening to him.
Smooth
I
listening.
I love
Hmm.
the late night talk shows like the Tonight Show and Stephen Colbert and all that. I watch them every night. And during COVID, I remember them talking about the nightmare it was for a comedian, especially a comedian on a talk show, to not have a live audience, not have a guest in front of them, to be doing it through Zoom. And there's one show in particular that he's like, "I'm in this void of white space with no feedback. So I don't know if these jokes are landing. I don't like nothing. I'm just getting nothing from this screen." And yeah, I can imagine it'd be like that. So
So
yeah, I love the feedback. But yeah,
now
no,
I do
before,
want to backtrack a little bit, Wes.
yeah,
In January, I had some frustration. I don't know if it was January or December or whenever. It was a few months ago. I was having a lot of frustrations because the scheduling was not clicking. Like everyone that I would get would have to postpone, and then I'd have to shuffle ahead or move back or find an alternate last minute. And I know I voiced that to you, and I think I've worked on it to where I got a nice little bank. My locals are generally my backup. If I don't
that's
have
right.
anybody, I'm like, "Hey, somebody gonna get on the show today?"
That's
So
why we've interviewed half of Texas.
we
That's
haven't
it.
even scratched the surface, really.
Shay, would you rather fight one duck-sized horse or 10 horse-sized ducks?
One duck-sized horse. I'm taking the one small horse. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Oh
That's
yeah.
right.
Really.
One
Whatever it is.
horse-sized duck.
The one horse-sized
One
duck or 10
horse-sized
duck-sized
duck. Or
horses.
yes.
Oh, yeah, it'd have to be the small ones. I'd rather handle the small ones. I mean, you assume you can take a little bit of punishment, but the big one, you'd only be able to take one piece of punishment. You'd
Nobody
be
ever
down.
talks about the poop. The giant duck poop would be atrocious.
Oh, that's true too. That would be. That would
No, but that
be.
would be one nice kill if you could get a duck that big.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, also we very rarely talk much before or after the show. We used to do it a lot. We spend 15 minutes talking before the show. We talk after the show for half an hour. It's gotten more streamlined where we initiate the video call. We say, "Hey, have you watched our show before? Okay, well, this is what we're going to kind of touch on. This is how the show works. We
So
should
we
watch the
intro.
outro because nobody ever watches the outro except for the guests."
I watched the outro.
There you go. Because they're so cool, man.
Like,
You
I
gotta
might
watch
fast forward the whole show just to get to the outro.
I do like how streamlined we've gotten it, where we don't have to like spend time planning things out. We just Scott and I know what's going to happen, and we convey it to the guests in the almost automatic fashion. Like Scott talks to the guests while I do the sound check, and by the time I'm done with the sound check, we're ready to go. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean that is really nice that we have our little quirks figured out. We do still hang out after the show sometimes. It depends on if the guest wants to stay. Like, how long were we on the phone with Ryan after the show? Half an hour, at least.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we've had people be like, "Oh, show's over." Click. Like, we don't even get to tell them goodnight or thanks for being on the show. It's just like, boom, done.
I gotta get out of here. Yeah, I hear you.
And Ryan was like, "Hey man, I have to pee for like an hour, man. I gotta go." What else you got, Scott?
How long does it take you to do the post production? From whenever we're done talking, whenever you sit down, whether it's the next morning or 10 minutes after the show, how much time does it take you to go back and edit?
So it depends on how fast my hamsters are running that day. If I don't have anything going on, my hamsters are well motivated and spinning along fast, I can get it done in about 2 hours. That's if like everything's running perfectly. More often than not, it runs closer to 4 to 6 hours.
Wow.
Is that with the creation of the outro?
Yeah, just to get the outro put together, get the song put together, to put edit it together, to upload it takes forever.
I got a question. Another question, follow up to this that I didn't write down. So, whenever we're having our episodes and sometimes we're having technical difficulties or, hey, take this out of the show, how long does it take you to go back and cut that out?
Usually not too long because I try, not always successfully, but I try to take a little notes. This is something that Ryan Redmond taught me actually. That when something happens, I know I'm going to have to edit it out. I take a little note saying 58 minutes, cut this out. And then I can just fast forward to that and cut it out. But sometimes I miss it.
Cool. Because if you're ever sick and I need to do this, I need to know what I'm doing and how I'm doing it.
One thing I forgot to mention, something I've learned from the show is always do a sound check.
Always do a sound check.
Always do a sound check. I almost didn't tonight, and that would have been a disaster because the sound was not working properly. So always do a sound check.
All right, are you ready for the numbers that I have for the show for the last 100 episodes? All right. Wes has missed 0 of the last 100 episodes because he's the one that's recording all of them.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. We've had one 100 subscriber show. You know how many subscribers we're at now, Wes? I think it's like 167.
Wow.
Yeah, close.
We've had one AA meeting. That's where our wives were on the show. We've had 2 lost episodes. 2 lost episodes that for some reason didn't record all the way. Now that's not counting Azarus Strifes because we redid his. But I know that we had at least 2 more people's episodes get. Rory was one of them, and then oh my gosh, I can't think of the other guy off the top of my head. I have missed 2 episodes. I missed a round table where Michael Strait sat in for me, where I was playing at the King of New Orleans event, and then I missed the one episode that I really, really, really wanted to be on, and that was oh my gosh, why is his name slipping me?
Miles Kane.
I missed Miles Kane. That was like my first month into the show. I missed Miles Kane because I was
Scott, get on it. Get him back on the show.
We've had 2 set reviews. Wow, we've been doing this 100 episodes, and we've only reviewed 2 sets as a Talkn Clix show with X-Men 97, where we went piece by piece, and we did another one with Josh Howard. He is a Patreon member. He sat in with us and did Strange Tales.
So how do you feel about that, Scott? Because set reviews is something that every podcast does. we both enjoy doing it, but we don't do it very often. What do you think
I
about
feel
that?
like we break down the sets somewhat whenever we do the roundtables, and it's not like we're going through each piece because every podcast goes through each piece. I feel like when we sit down to do a roundtable, it's like, hey, part of our itinerary maybe is going to be pick a piece from the commons of this next set, or pick a piece from the uncommons. And sometimes it's two pieces, and we'll see what the overlap looks like. So I feel like we're not doing a piece by piece breakdown. Now, do I like doing the piece by piece breakdown? Yes, but I can be wrong on my takes on some of those for sure.
Shay, I want you to defend one bad movie.
One bad movie?
Yes.
That's several bad movies I like, but actually Galaxy Quest should be in the upper echelon of movies. It is a high rate, high production, high value parody of Star Trek. And I mean, if you've not seen it and seen for what it is some great acting chops by Tony Shalhoub, who plays I forget the guy he plays. This is a movie that when I feel sick, I pop it in and I have a good day. I mean, Galaxy Quest is Tim Allen's awesome in it. Sigourney Weaver's amazing in it. I mean, if you've not seen it, you should go watch it. It's along the same lines as the Orville, which I like too. So,
That's a good question. I want to maybe put in a questionnaire sometime. What is a movie that you rewatch religiously that always just puts a smile on your face, no matter what?
Okay, we can get with the scientists at the lab. I still got a couple more notes for our episodes here. We've had 6 playing Clix episodes. We only started that in April, I believe.
oh, that's pretty good.
Before today, not including my game with Shay, Wes has 2 victories. Scott has 4.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. One of them I didn't even really engage him because I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna put this blocking terrain in front of me and I'm gonna run my pog out of the game. We've had 12 round tables, and we've had 78 unique guests. One of those was a duo.
Cut out for a second.
78 unique guests.
Wow, that's hard to do. That is impressive.
Yeah, that's not even counting repeat offenders. We've had 78 different guests on the show.
So if anybody's still listening to us, I want to hear from the audience if you like the arduous 2 episode a week routine that we do, or if you'd like us to do more or less, or what. How do you feel as an audience listening to us? I know, Mork, you listen to us every week, twice a week. Do you enjoy that, or would you like us to slow down a little bit, or would you like to add another episode in there? What do you think?
3 episodes a week? That'd be cranking them out.
I hope not. Those outros is actually the main reason that we still do a visual aspect to the show. Otherwise, I would just
know that would stick around to just go to straight audio.
Yeah,
but and the outros to me are amazing. I feel like that is the gift to give to the people for being on the show.
Every week, almost, I get a text message after I air the show, and the guest is like, "Oh man, that outro was perfect. I made my wife watch it. How do I get that song?" Like the guests love it, so I just keep doing it.
All right. Do you have any final takeaways for the last 100 episodes?
Final takeaways. So, don't ever underestimate yourself. I started this thinking that I am not an extrovert. I don't like talking. I don't have a lot of great thoughts to offer to the game. Nothing unique. I really didn't know what I was doing. I started out doing unboxings with myself, and I put the camera on. I did split screen with myself with a mask on, and it was really goofy and silly. And it took me a while to figure out what the show would look like. But it's always something I wanted to do. I always listen to other shows and watch other shows. I'm like, everybody else, these kids are doing it. Why can't I do it? So I decided to try it, and it succeeded. And same thing with Red, White, and Clix. It was something I just dumb idea I had, and it took off on its own. So don't ever be afraid to try something. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Whatever. You tried it.
My takeaways is that I've learned that there's a lot of people that play this game, not just domestically. There's foreign players that I talk to pretty regularly now. Um, I'm not going to say that it has increased my influence, but it has increased the influence that I have on me from other areas to pull information from. So thank you all everywhere. If you're listening, if you're not listening anymore, whatever. I appreciate everyone who's been on the show. I appreciate everyone I get to talk to. So, I mean, I feel like that's helped me grow as a person. And I didn't realize that I had that many people I could pull up in a Rolodex to be like, hey, yeah, you want to be on the show?
You know, so when we were talking about doing this earlier, I thought, oh, this would be like a 20-minute segment.
No, I figured this was like 20 minutes. It's been almost an hour. All right. One more question for you, Wes.
Yes, sir.
If you had to sign a contract to do another 100 episodes, would you?
No. I only say that because I don't like being locked in and cornered. When I designed Red, White, and Clix, I just specifically designed Red, White, and Clix not to be centered around a certain charity or a certain cause other than just veterans in general. I didn't want to be centered on PTSD or this or that or just this one charity. I wanted to be able to pivot and change and grow and do things the way I feel is necessary at the time. And with the show, I want to be able to. It just if life gets hectic and just I want to hand it over to Scott or if we want to change things or if Scott gets tired of it and wants to change things, like I just like having the freedom to do what I want to do, and that's the only reason I would not sign for another 100 episodes. Because honestly, there's been times recently I've been like, man, I got too much on my plate. I can't dedicate to this show. I told Scott for the month of June we have to do one episode a week. I just do not have the time for 2 episodes.
Yeah,
a month.
and then on Sundays you're like, "Who we got today?" I'm like, "Nobody." Like you said, we're not doing Sundays this month.
You're lucky I remember what day it is.
Yeah, but I'm like, am I gonna get a text from Wes this Sunday? Be like, who's on the docket? Be like, nobody. It's blank.
Would you do another 100 episode contract?
Yes. I've enjoyed doing the show. I enjoy. Look, it's. I may have a crummy day at work, and I'm like, hey, I want to come home and do the show. I may have a crummy day at home. I may be feeling ill. We've missed a couple times because of illness. But generally, it's like, no, even if I'm ill, I want to get on the show because it gives me an energy that I didn't know I had. It helps me take stuff out of my head that I didn't want. Now, I will say that I do miss time with my family doing the 2 episodes a week, but it's become part of life right now. I mean, we've done 100 of these now.
Yep. My wife knows that when the doors are shut to the office that I am incommunicado.
No, she still comes in and talks.
Not, have you noticed? not as much. Shay, thank you so much for putting up with us today and doing this little trip down memory lane. You've been a part of this trip. You know, it's been almost a year since you've been here. You were one of the early guests when we got our footing, and I specifically remember your show as being one of my favorites. You were my favorite guests, and I just love talking to you. I love listening to your show. So thank you for being here for our Remembery episode.
101 episode into the future.
Hey, I just gotta say, I'm just thankful to come on, and I enjoy you two. Y'all do such a great job, and you bring such great highlight to the community, which I think is important. I mean, but I think I speak for the community in saying, can you give us one little thing that you're thinking of, one little preview you're thinking of, add it, because you said you like to add new things. Is there something percolating that we can kind of look forward to these next 100 episodes that y'all might try? You can fail at it. I talk about that all the time as a teacher. You can fail, but I know there's something in there. Y'all don't want to keep doing the same old.
You know, I enjoy the Playing Clix episodes, and I have a like a D&D type scenario where you're going through a mission or through a storyline that I would love to utilize for Talking Clix, but I don't know how it would be perceived. That would be something that I would bring into the future with Wes and be like, hey, here's a thought process. It's going to be a continuation, so it's going to be a series of doing it for the Playing Clix episodes. If he wants to continue down that line, that would be my thought process.
something we touched on for a minute and it just kind of fell apart. And I'd like to circle back to it is more streaming of actually filming games.
I got
Oh,
you, boo. I've reached out to an old friend of mine who I don't know if he still works for Twitch. He used to be higher up in the Twitch. Um, he does not play Heroclix, but he is a nerd and has been playing games forever. I am trying to wrangle a date for him to be on the show to get into the streaming with Twitch.
I think I would love to hear you two commentating a game. You know, I think that would be as an area that I think is very interesting. Is that I think they call it like shoutcasting, but it's not really shoutcasting, but kind of like they do World Series of Poker and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Okay. So I would like to do that as well. I know that the Rock Cup had Patrick Yapoko, and I think Kenny Pena was doing it with him, and they would set you down and you would play your game on streaming, and they would go in a booth that they would then comment on the game. And I don't know how we could do that from where we are, but I'm sure we could figure it out technologically.
Yeah. Technology's made the world very small. Very small.
So, yes.
All right. So shake that 8 ball again and tell us, are we going to make it for another 100 episodes?
I I think y'all will. I mean, anytime you got a partner and y'all kind of vibe off each other, I think y'all will. And what I love, and this is why I think your podcast will last, is that you're always experimenting on new avenues to keep it fresh to you all. You know, and your guest concept. I mean, focusing on anybody and everybody, I think just keeps it fresh because everybody wants to hear. When we talk about it in teaching, everybody, you need to hear people's stories. You know, and it makes you more full as a person when you hear somebody else's story about how they got into HeroClix or what they enjoy about it. You know, it just makes your life more full. So I think
sometimes the energy that they bring just feeds you. And
yeah.
Bill Powell recently, his episode, I feel like we got a lot of feedback on that. Just the energy that he brought for being a new player stepping into the game, trying to create a venue.
Yep.
That was great. The energy is awesome. I feel like I would be a psychic vampire.
People talk about this community so much and how it's unique, and it's hard to put a tangible thing to what makes this community so unique. But I feel like, and I had a note about this to talk about tonight, is that it takes almost no time for a member of the community to feel like family. One conversation. Half the guests we've talked to, I had 1 hour conversation with them, and I feel like they're best friends. And for me personally, kind of being homebound as I am and not being able to travel to events, and my local community is kind of falling apart here recently, and not really being able to interact with other HeroClix players as much as I'd like to. This podcast has been kind of an outlet for me for that, and it's really been amazing how Shay. I had one conversation with you, dude. I didn't know you before that episode, and we have stayed in touch ever since. And
I know.
been
That's awesome.
Just the fact that we have this commonality together, and it takes nothing for us to just feel like family overnight. It's just awesome. So,
Yeah.
that's
And I would
tonight.
I will go ahead and say that if anybody's out there and they're feeling like they need to connect with the community, this is a great show to come on, share your passion, and you'll get connected in with a ton of other people who share their passion. And I think that's awesome about your show. I really do.
So anybody that's still listening to this, an hour and whatever in, comment below. I want to hear from you guys.
But I think you could almost break apart the game versus the talk.
I'm going to.
Yeah, you can.
I decided that long time. I'm going to do a separate. But I want to hear from you guys what your highlights have been for the last 100 episodes. Whether our missteps, what are the things that we have not done quite right that we need to fix, like my microphone. But I want to hear from you. This show's all about the heroes of the HeroClix, and that is you folks. You guys have what has kept the show alive. What kept us trying to do more and better. So I want to hear from the audience. I want to hear from the community. what you liked about the show, what your favorite episodes, what your favorite guests, all that stuff. Comment below. I want to see the biggest thread of the last 100 episodes under this episode. So comment below. Got anything, Scott?
My final thought.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just want to be heard, and listening is one of the kindest things we can do for each other.
Amen.
I kind of want to circle back to what I said. Don't be afraid to try things. Just don't be afraid. It's fine. The sky is never falling. I don't care if there's Beetlejuice or not. The sky is not falling.
I want to say on that, sniffing hot sauce is not something you need to try. It's not good.
No. That's bad for you.
Anytime somebody's like, here, try this. Don't try it. Don't do it. My daughter sticks things in my face all the time. I'm like, I don't trust you. She's like, I promise it's good. I don't trust you. Nope. No. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here tonight. Shay, it's always a pleasure. Scott, thank you for making the show what it is. You've brought an invaluable asset to the show. So thank you very much.
Look, I couldn't do it without you because you were the rock that we started with.
All right, guys. You know what we say. As always.
As always.
Keep on clicking. Have a good night.
Keep it on.
Good
Hey,
night.
y'all have a good night.
There was a time it was just Wespool, talking to a webcam glow, hoping somewhere in the static there were people he'd get to know. Not about the latest combo, not about what's ranked S tier, just the folks behind the figures and the stories that brought them here. Then one day a missing link appeared, like he was always meant to be. Scott pulled up a chair beside him and became family. Two different roads, one destination, two different gears that somehow fit. One asks why, one asks how, together they just click. 100 episodes later, look at all the ground we've crossed, the friendships found along the way, far outweigh the games we've lost. We're the soundtrack to the road trip, the laughter after round 6. We're still celebrating heroes, the heroes of Heroclix. 100 guests came through the doorway, everyone a different song. Some were legends of the community, some didn't know they belonged. World champions and local heroes, collectors with 1,000 tales, people finding lifelong friendships through convention halls and hotel trails. And every week the same experiment, cooked up deep in secret labs, questions tested by professionals with clipboards, charts, and evil laughs. Golden girls and random numbers, hey course nobody wants to ride, but somehow by the end of it, you know the guests a little better by the night. 100 episodes later, look at all the ground we've crossed, the friendships found along the way, far outweigh the games we've lost. We're the soundtrack to the road trip, the laughter after round 6. We're still celebrating heroes, the heroes of Heroclix. Remember all the last minute cancellations, the frantic texts, the backup plans. Scott somehow turning disaster into another great conversation. Remember all the outros, the songs, late night lyric sessions trying to capture an entire person in 3 minutes and a chorus, trying to say, we see you, we appreciate you, You matter to this community. Because it's always been the secret hidden underneath the show. The game brought everybody together, but the people made it grow. The pieces sit inside the boxes, the trophies gather dust someday, but friendships made across the table have a funny way of staying. And every laugh becomes a memory, every guest becomes a friend, every episode a chapter in a story with no end. 100 episodes later, still got miles to go ahead, still got stories left to uncover, still got questions left unsaid, still got Golden Girls discussions, still got numbers left to pick, still got scientists in lab coats trying to learn what makes us tick. 100 episodes later, one thing still remains the fix. We're not celebrating pieces, we're celebrating the heroes of Heroclix. Scuzz, for the 100th episode, I have prepared a special question. Please tell me it isn't about the Golden Girls. It's about the Golden Girls. Of course it is. The scientists at Talkn Clix labs have determined this is the most accurate personality assessment ever devised. Those scientists need supervision. They're very busy. Doing what? Trying to figure out why nobody likes the haiku question. I can save them years of research. Too late. We got a grant. From who? The Golden Girls. From the first guest to the 100th, from the first episode to the Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for sharing your lives. Thank you for letting us celebrate.